Test is lime water in there. It is to test the chemical presence of carbon dioxide in the water. So from our lungs, we will blow carbon dioxide into the lime water to test if it is there. If a precipitate forms, then that it means a chemical reaction has taken place and CO2 is present. As you can see, the chemical now is milky. It's a chemical reaction that's taking place and CO2 is present in the chemical. The next experiment is to test the concentration of vinegar in each test tube. The concentration of vinegar in each test tube is different, which would cause a different reaction for each piece of magnesium. The magnesium is supposed to react with vinegar because vinegar is an acid and magnesium is a metal. This test tube has 20 milliliters of vinegar. This one has 15 milliliters of vinegar and 5 water. And this one has 10 milliliters of vinegar and 10 milliliters of water. So you will see the difference between each reaction as the magnesium dissolves. So 1, 2, 3. You can see from each test tube how this one is dissolving the magnesium really fast, this one at a moderate pace, and this one really slowly. That is because the concentration of vinegar in each test tube is different to this point, which would cause for the reaction to go faster or slower.
Hello, this is a segment where I'll be explaining the experiments that you guys saw. First experiment we're going to talk about is the lime water test. The materials were 20 milliliters of lime water, a test tube, and a straw. The procedures are: first step, pour 20 milliliters of lime water into a test tube. Second step, place a straw in the test tube. Third step, slowly blow into a test tube. Fourth step, observe and record. And after blowing into the test tube, you'll see a precipitate form in the lime water, which shows that carbon dioxide is present in the reaction, showing that there is a chemical reaction happening in the reaction. And this is a chemical test to test carbon dioxide being in lime water, which is calcium hydroxide. And the results of carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide is calcium bicarbonate. The chemistry concepts in the lime water test are chemical tests and chemical formulas. The chemical formula for the lime water test would be carbon dioxide, CO2, plus calcium hydroxide, CaOH2. It would give you calcium bicarbonate, CaCO3, and water, H2O.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. I see some things that you might fear. I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon. That ain't what she wanna hear. No. Now I got it in my room.
Different types of chemical equations are synthesis reactions, which is A plus B equals AB. There's single replacement reactions, which are AB plus C equals AC plus B. There's decomposition reactions, which separate both of the elements, which is AB equals A plus B. There's double replacement reactions, which cause for both of the elements, both of the pair of elements to be switched, which is AB plus CD equals AD plus CB. The manganese dioxide was not part of the product because manganese dioxide serves as a catalyst in the reaction. There's also a decomposition reaction, as the products just ended up being separated into two different substances. The reactants of the formula are manganese dioxide and hydrogen peroxide, which gives you oxygen and water, because manganese dioxide serves as a catalyst in the reaction. And the chemistry concepts that are covered are chemistry kinetics and chemical equations. And my observations from the experiment where most of the manganese dioxide that was put into the reaction ended up being left in the filter paper when everything filtered out. Manganese dioxide served as a catalyst in the reaction because the ending results of the reaction were actually water and oxygen. So manganese dioxide was not present. And the experimental explanation is manganese dioxide serves as a catalyst in the reaction, still lowering the activation energy, but increasing the rate of reaction. Manganese dioxide was not part of the product because manganese dioxide serves as a catalyst in the reaction. This is also a decomposition reaction, as the products just ended up being separated into two different substances. The last segment that I'll be talking about is chemical names and chemical formulas. Going over chemical formulas. For chemical formulas, the main rule of chemical formulas is the number of atoms that you put into the equation have to come out. So let's say there are 4 hydrogen atoms in the reaction, then the products have to have 4 hydrogen atoms. Chemical formulas are pretty easy. It's just balancing the equation. You can never add exponents. You could only add numbers in front of the element. The best method to equalize the charge of each element would be to do the crisscross method. So you find both of the charges, and you have to see both of the charges have to be equal to each other. So you would have to add numbers in front of different elements to make the equation equal itself. So the number of reactants that come in have to come out in the products. You have to cancel down any ratios if necessary, and write the chemical formula all together. So main things to know about this is number of reactants that come in have to come out.